So before we get started, I'm going to show you guys what it is we're working on. This is the 1953 Cadillac Eldorado convertible from Reader's Digest. Let's see if we can get that to focus. Now this one is not the one we're doing. This one is in mint condition. Now if you remember, the original Cadillac that we're working on had a broken windshield piece missing, and the steering wheel was missing, and the interior was all ratty, and it had a wheel broken off. Let's see, this is made by High Speed. Pretty awesome little car. So let's get to work on the one that we're actually building. So as usual, we're going to put this in the vise and drill out these rivets so we can tap it and thread it and put screws in it. So once we have it stable here, we'll use our 1/16 drill bit and get started. So now we'll just separate the body and chassis and pull all this stuff apart. There we go. Pull the interior out. Looks like the glass needs to be pried out. So now we've drilled the posts, and I'm gonna thread these so we can get our screws in them later. Just got to be careful not to go through the hood or the trunk here. So it wouldn't be the first time I've done that one. A little more lubrication on the thread. You always got to use a little lube. These taps will snap before you know it. So now that we got it all set, it's on to the stripper it goes. Bye-bye, Cadillac. We'll see you in a little while. All right, so now we pulled it out of the citrus strip. It's been in there for about an hour. And we're going to let it get some air here because it seems that the oxygen helps it to start bubbling up a lot quicker than it just sitting in the jar. Now this was probably about 15-20 minutes worth of video condensed down to 3 minutes. So for those of you who don't like to sit around and watch this, just go ahead and fast forward. For the rest of us, sit back and enjoy. Now it's time to make the axles, since we're going to be putting on different wheels, and we have to fix the chassis since the drill bit slipped a little bit and made the hole wider than I wanted. So we're going to mix up a little bit of the Gorilla resin with some of the Gorilla hardener. Works about the same as JB Weld. I like this product a little better. Works pretty quick, although it has a horrific smell to it. So, and definitely use gloves because you don't want this stuff on your fingers. We're going to mix this up real good. Then we're going to patch up the holes, and we'll just have to re-drill holes later. Try and get it even on both sides. This happens from time to time when the drill bit wanders, but it's just part of the game. And now the chassis is all dried up, so we're going to go ahead and cut our custom tubes for our axles, measure them up to size. Then we'll take our blade and cut right through these. Once we get them all set to the exact width that we need, we'll be able to set these in. Again, I'm going to use the Gorilla resin to get these put in. And to make sure that the axles fit in, we're going to sand the ends here. Then we're going to try and open up the ends of the tube. I use the poker. Sometimes it works. When it doesn't, I tend to use my blade to kind of cut the excess of the brass from around the inside. So now we have 2 axle tubes, perfectly sized. And we'll take our Hot Wheel wheels and our Hot Wheel axles and make sure they fit. So here I took a steering wheel from another Hot Wheels, our dash. Now it's time to clean up the body once we've got it all stripped down and get it prepped for paint. This body has a lot of contours to it, so I'd like to use this thin, wide wire wheel. It's able to get into all the places my other wheel can't. And now I'm going to grind out some space for the wider wheels that we chose to put on this. The factory ones were pretty skinny. Now you kind of see where we're going with the stance and look of this car. Now, before I paint it, it's time for our drawing. We're going to use this old school bingo ball setup. And let me grab the list here. So we have everyone's name on here and the color that they chose they wanted the caddy in. Total of 15 people. So let's go ahead and spin it around and see who gets to win it. All right, here's our winner. Number 1. That would be Drew's Custom Diecast, and looks like we're doing gold. And without further delay, here's our caddy, finished and ready for the showroom. So here she is, guys, the long-awaited Cadillac giveaway. And as you well know from the list you guys saw just a second ago, we picked number 1, which was Drew's Custom, and he wanted it painted in gold. So this color is a Deco Art acrylic glorious gold. All the chrome you see is done in Molotow. And we added a couple decals there on the top to kind of accent the paintwork. And we got skinny white walls, blacked out wheels. Let's see if that'll show up a little better. It's kind of hard to touch this car. Everything's so delicate on it. As you can see, we have a laid back windshield, which was custom. That actually came from a different vehicle. As far as interior wise, let me turn it around here so I can hold it properly. We just did a blacked out interior. As you saw, we did have to add a steering wheel to it. It likes to make some noise as it screeches around. And as far as the bottom, we detailed it a little bit there. Some silver, some Molotow chrome, a little blue for the oil pan. And the tail light's done. Another decal on the back. So one thing I like about this paint is the metallic on it is so correct. I mean, it's very, very small. Looks great on the car. Kind of hard to pick up in this lighting. So there you have it, Drew. It looks a little more orange on camera than it is in real life. So I hope you like it. Took a little longer to build just because I was taking my time doing this one. There was many modifications, although it looks pretty stock. We had to shave a lot of the interior metal on the underside to be able to fit the wheels that we put on it. Also to kind of channel it over the frame and the wheels to get the stance a lot lower. And the interior actually had to get trimmed quite a bit to be able to fit, because once we had dropped the body so much, the interior would stick up out of the body line about a good 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch. So we did a lot of trimming there, and I didn't want the focus to be the interior, which is why I blacked it out. I wanted the focus to be the paint, the decals, the outer chrome, the wheels, which they look great. So there you have it, guys. The 1953 Cadillac Eldorado. And now I'll be packaging this up and sending it out to Drew. Hope you enjoy it, buddy. And I'd like to thank everybody who bared with me on this build. There's a lot of setbacks. I painted it at least 3 times. But aside from, paint issues and fitment issues, we were kind of, out of it. We were sick for about a month. Then when I got back to it, I thought it was close to finishing, but really it was only about 50% there. So, and the original windshield, if y'all remember, was broken. This one was donated from a different vehicle. But in the end, I cut it, I shaved it. I made visors out of the top of the plastic. But we got it to lean back enough to where it fit the profile of the car. So once again, if you guys like the build, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know you liked it. And for those of you who are subscribed, I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank everybody. And I'll catch you guys on the next build. Stay tuned for another. Coming soon.